Howdy, howdy. I kind of want to just hop on here and talk a little bit about my experience with and my journey with God and what I've been learning, how much I've really gone through with the Bible. I've started earlier this year, so it's not definitely something that's new to me. I've always believed in Jesus, and I've always said that I have a good heart and I have a relationship with Jesus, but I never felt like I needed to read the Bible or go any further. But I'm just gonna get into it, kind of show what I've done so far. I'm gonna do my best to show you where I'm at. I did start when I started reading the Bible. I started with the Old Testament, which I don't regret starting that way, but I would recommend starting with the New Testament, as in the Old Testament is of course the Old Testament because it was in a time before Jesus lived, and it was also has to do with the matter of the times back in the day. But anyhow, started with the Old Testament. I read all of Genesis, which is a very good amount. After Genesis, I'm trying my best to get this in the camera right here. After Genesis goes into Exodus. Read all of Exodus. Another good sized book. Exodus goes into Numbers. This is kind of where it started. Like, I definitely like Genesis, and I liked Leviticus. Now Numbers goes into like it's a lot more harder to read. It feels like you need to. I mean, you definitely need to be focused in, but it's a lot more based on like numbers and numbers of people. This numbers for a reason, but listing off descendants on descendants and like numbers of like populations of people and stuff like that. So read all of Numbers though. After Numbers. Yeah, after Numbers goes into Deuteronomy, and Deuteronomy is where I stopped with the Old Testament. And after doing more research, getting more into God and becoming a little more religious, I learned that you should start with the New Testament. It speaks more on the way we should live our life today, and this is an account of the apostles on Jesus' life and what he did and his miracles and how he lived, and also like different ways to better our own lives and to choose to lead our lives a little bit better. So anyhow, where are we at? Let's go to the start of this. The New Testament. So the New Testament starts off with Matthew, which is one of his apostles, and all of these are written is their account of what they witnessed during Jesus' time and being alive, either his specific things or what was going on during the time. Matthew is a decent amount. Finish Matthew, go on to Mark. Mark, another apostle, which is another good book to read there. I did like Mark, but Mark goes into Luke. Luke was probably my favorite. Luke is very well written, and I would say more detail oriented. It almost seemed like he was there for everything, not everything, but a good majority of Jesus' adult life, and he accounts for everything pretty well. And Luke is a decent amount long, but it didn't feel hard to read. Again, it was like probably my favorite one so far. Gospel according to John, another apostle, similar, just his accounts of what happened during Jesus' life. After John, it goes into Acts, the Acts of the Apostles. That's kind of like a total of like the multitudes of them. Not I would say that's like after Jesus' death, like them spreading the word on their own and also committing or doing the miracles that were bestowed upon themselves. Acts goes on to the letter of Paul to the Romans, and Paul is awesome, by the way. He really dedicates his life after being a problem himself to spreading the word of God or spreading the word of Jesus after Jesus dies. But anyways, the letter of Paul to Romans, that goes into the letter of Paul, the first letter of Paul to the Corinthians, which is a good amount as well. That goes into the second letter of Paul to the Corinthians. And finally, the letter of Paul to the Galatians is where I am currently at. I have not read the rest yet. I have not read the full Bible yet, but that is everything that I have read. I've read a decent amount of books, and I kind of just wanted to spread my journey and spread where I'm at. I want to finish reading the Bible. After I finish reading the Bible myself, I want to go in a Bible study and read the Bible again and kind of further expand my knowledge, on Jesus and God. I would definitely, as you probably know, I would label myself a Jesus freak nowadays, and I do believe that it's changing my life and helping me quit so many things, and everything is getting better. The blessings just are so insane. I can't even explain it. I'm just very grateful, and I just kind of wanted to share my journey with you guys, kind of let you know where I'm at and that I'm gonna keep going. And yeah, love y'all. God bless. Take care of yourselves. Tell somebody you love them. Peace and love.